If you've ever worked with data, you know it is rarely, if ever, perfect. Well, today, we're going to build out our essential SQL toolkit. We're going to master two really powerful operations, one for fixing the data you already have, and another for combining it in brand new ways. So let's dive in.
So think of it this way. Your data is always telling a story. But what happens when some of the facts in that story are just plain wrong? Or what if you have two totally separate stories that you need to weave together into one? That's exactly the problem we're going to solve today. We're building the toolkit to fix and expand our data's narrative.
Okay, first up in our toolkit, the modification tool. This is your go-to when the data you're looking at is just wrong. It's all about correcting the record and making sure the story your data is telling is the true one.
And the star of the show here is the SET command. Now, it works hand in hand with the update statement. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a super precise find and replace for your database. You tell it what to find, and SET tells it what the new value should be.
This whole process really breaks down into three simple steps. First, you use update to tell the database, hey, look at this specific table, like the customers table. Second, you use set to give the new info, like change the contact name to Alfred Schmidt. And third, and this is the most important one, you use where to pinpoint the exact row you want to change. Trust me, that third step is the one that's going to save you from a major disaster. More on that in just a moment.
Okay, let's make this real. Here's a record for customer ID number 1. As you can see, the contact name is Maria Anders, and the city is Berlin. This is our before picture. And now, after we run our update command, check it out. Boom! Just like that, the name is now Alfred Schmidt, and the city is Frankfurt. They're instantly corrected. That's the power of SET. You get these precise, targeted edits exactly where you need them.
All right, remember how I said that where clause was super important? Well, it's so much more than just a part of the command. It's your most critical safety mechanism. Seriously, get it right, and you're a data surgeon with a scalpel. Get it wrong, and you're a demolition crew with a wrecking ball.
And hey, I am not being dramatic here. The documentation is crystal clear about this. This is the danger zone. Forgetting the where clause is one of those classic, painful mistakes that can cause a massive headache because you're not just editing one record. You end up editing all of them.
I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. With the where clause, you have surgical precision. You change one specific record. But without it, you get a total table makeover. Every single record gets changed. Imagine trying to change one customer's name to Juan and accidentally renaming every single customer in your database to Juan. It's kind of funny to think about, but in real life, absolutely terrifying.
Okay, so we've got a handle on fixing our data. That's tool number 1. Now, let's grab our second tool, combining data. This is where we shift from being an editor, fixing typos in a single chapter, to being an author, merging chapters from two different books into one big, coherent story. And the tool for that job is Union. It's pretty cool. It takes the results of two or more separate select queries and just stacks them on top of each other. But here's the key feature. It automatically cleans up the list for you by removing any duplicates. It's just like if you asked a friend to merge two guest lists. They'd naturally cross off any names that appear on both. That's what Union does for you.
Now, Union is powerful, but it's a little picky. It has a few rules you have to follow. For it to work, your queries have to match up perfectly. You need the exact same number of columns, the columns have to have similar data types, and they've got to be in the same order. It just makes sense, right? You can't stack a column of names and cities on top of a column of just phone numbers.
Let's see this thing in action. Imagine we want to get a single master list of all the cities where we do business. So our first source is this customers table. Looking at the city column, we can see we've got Berlin and Mexico DFA.
Okay, our second source is the suppliers table. And over here, the city column shows us London and Ann Arbor. All right, we've got our two lists. Let's combine them. So when we run a union on the city column from both of those tables, this is what we get. A single, clean, alphabetized list of every unique city where we have either a customer or a supplier. And notice, if Berlin had been in both tables, it would only show up once here. That's the magic of Union. It does the deduping for you.
But what if you want the duplicates? What if you need to know every single instance of a city, not just the unique list? Well, for that, we need a slight variation of our tool.
And this is the choice you have to make. Union is your careful filter. It inspects every entry to give you that clean, unique list. But that extra check takes a little more time. Union All, on the other hand, is pure speed. It just opens the floodgates and combines everything, duplicates and all. The one you choose really just depends on your goal.
Yep, so union all is pretty much what it sounds like. It includes all the rows. It's the give me everything command. No checks, no filters, just the raw combined data.
And this is what that would look like. Let's say we have contacts in both Berlin and London in both of our tables. Well, union all will list every single one of them. You can see the duplicates right there in the result. This is exactly what you want when your goal is a raw count or a complete, unabridged list of every single entry.
So we can modify our data and we can combine our data. But the real power comes when we put these ideas together, to not just merge the data, but to enrich it and unlock brand new insights.
And we can do this with something called an alias. It's kind of like adding a little digital sticky note to each piece of data as you combine it. By using a little snippet like customer as type in our query, we can create a brand new temporary column that labels every single row that came from the customers table as a customer.
And would you look at this result? This is awesome. We haven't just created a list of contacts, we've created a unified directory that tells us who each person is. We can see right away, Maria Anders is a customer, Charlotte Cooper is a supplier. This isn't just combined data anymore, it's combined data with context. It's a completely new story we couldn't see before.
So there you go. You've now got the tools. You can use SET to make sure your data story is accurate, and you can use Union to combine different stories into one powerful narrative. The only question left is, what hidden story are you going to uncover in your data?